I don't care what they think. Scooby-Doo's awesome. I might just go upstairs after this and turn on Boomerang and watch What's New Scooby-Doo for a few hours. See if I care. See if you care. Do you care? Hello everybody, I am back with another video, and today I'm going to be going over the games that I've been playing recently. It's been a while since my last episode, so I do have quite a few games to get through, one of which I actually won't be really speaking about much in this video. I'll just be showing it to you guys because I'm actually going to do a full impressions / review of the game. Just a verbal review, will probably be unscripted. I'm just going to be going through detailing my personal thoughts on the game and just discussing my progress through the game and my final thoughts on the game. But I'll get to that in a second here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have quite a few games to get through. As always, guys, please drop me a comment letting me know what you guys have been playing recently as well. Alright, so the first game we have here, I actually completed in one sitting. And I own this game thanks to my very, very close friend here, Chesley. As you guys saw in my last video, he sent me quite a few things, but that is Star Fox 64 3D, one of my favorite games on the N64, and surprisingly enough, I never completed it on the N64. I was terrible at video games back then. I'm probably still terrible, but I still managed to beat it today, and it was just a great game to play through. Oh, almost dropped it. Brought back so many excellent memories. You know, what I like about the 3DS version especially, not only the graphics improved, but also you can save. You actually couldn't save on the N64 version, so you had to play through it in one sitting, which really wasn't a big deal because it's a very, very short game, but I was so terrible at video games back then that I just couldn't manage to beat the game, but I did beat it. Excellent, excellent game. The graphics look so just amazing on the 3DS. I don't really use the motion controls because you can actually tilt your 3DS to move your spaceship, which, I mean, it's cool. It's definitely very unique. It's a nice use of the capabilities of the system, but I prefer to actually just use the analog stick. It feels very comfortable in my hands, very smooth, and like I said, the graphics are very, very crisp, and it was really nice hearing Slippy scream at me saying, you know, do a barrel roll. Really cool stuff. What I never really realized is how much of a jerk Falco is. I mean, he's like screaming and pleading for you to kill the guys that are following him, and then when you do, he's like, "Oh, thanks, Fox." Or he makes some snarky comment. Really ridiculous that he's, you know, such a jerk, but, yeah, I'll think twice about playing as you in Super Smash Bros. Falco. Yeah, whatever. Really, really fun game. Definitely worth the asking price for this game. What's a little frustrating, though, is it doesn't have online play. You can do local play, but I don't really understand why Nintendo didn't go the extra mile and provide online capabilities with this game, because it'd be fantastic, and I think it would definitely make this game that much better. But, you know, for what it is, no online play, I can overlook that because it is a fantastic campaign experience, and, you know, you can play local play for what that is. The next game is a series of games that I've actually gotten into recently because of two people, really. Mike from Air Dynamics channel, awesome YouTuber. We have a very similar taste in games. And Splatter Trigger, who also has a very unique taste in games, very niche gamer, you know, if you will. But that is the Ease series. And this is E7, oh, Johnny Millennium too, of course, is very fond of the series. But E7 on the PSP. Now, I know a lot of people don't hate on the game, but they definitely don't hold it in as high regard as Oath and Felghana, which I don't either, personally. I don't feel it's as great as Oath and Felghana, but I do think that the game is fantastic, and it has one of the greatest musical scores of a game I've ever played. I think it may top Oath and Felghana, but this soundtrack done by Falcom is just extraordinarily well done. I mean, just blew me away. I had to download the soundtrack immediately once I had finished and completed the game, but really an amazing action RPG. For those of you that are fans of East, Oath, and Felghana, it is a little bit different than that because it is not an overhead view. You actually see almost like a third-person view of your character, but it's a little bit more zoomed out than that. And there are 3 playable characters on screen at any one time, except in the beginning of the game. It's just it's just Adol and Dogi, or Doggy. I'm not really sure how to pronounce his name. But it is a very long game. I was really surprised at the length of the game, but it definitely doesn't drag the story out, I didn't feel. There were some really nice twists and turns throughout the story that really kept you kind of going, kept you interested in what was going on. Definitely caused you to want to figure out what was going to happen next. And the one problem and complaint I have with the game is that there's really no sense of direction a lot of the time. You definitely have to do some exploring, which isn't a problem because you do need to grind in this game a little bit because some of the bosses are brutally challenging, as the Ys games are known for. But for what it is, the exploring really wasn't too much of a daunting task because, the world isn't too expansive to the point where you just had no idea where to go. There was a general idea and direction as to, your next mission, your next objective, and the next place you were supposed to go in order to maybe move on to the next cutscene or just progress in the story, if you will. But really, really excellent boss battles in this game. Like I said, they're brutally challenging. The final boss was just almost caused me to throw my PSP through the window. It was so brutally challenging. But as I said, the soundtrack of this game is phenomenal. There is seriously no soundtrack on the PSP that I think tops it, other than Ys, Oath, and Felghana. But for those of you that are a fan of action RPGs, look no further than the Ys series. They are fantastic games. I have yet to get Ys Chronicles 1 and 2, but I plan to do so in the very near future. But very, very great game. Excellent boss battles. Wonderful, wonderful soundtrack. And a really, really interesting story. And it's a very lengthy story as well. It took me about 20 hours to complete. So look no further than E7. Excellent RPG. Okay, the next game here is the game that I'm actually going to be doing a review / final impressions on. Even though I haven't completed it yet, I will be doing a final impressions because I don't feel like my opinions are going to change much by the time I finish the game. And that is Final Fantasy XIII. So look for that video very soon. I cannot wait to see how this game concludes. I've remained spoiler-free up until this point. I plan to do so until the very end of the game. But I cannot wait to see how this game unfolds. The next game you guys saw on my mystery Amazon unboxings. I picked it up for $5 new on Amazon, which is fantastic. And that is Majin and the Forsaken Kingdom. Now, this game definitely has not received the attention it deserves. Now, what's interesting is that the reviews all across the board were fantastic, receiving 9s and even 10s on some sites, which blows my mind that the game has been so greatly overlooked, especially considering the price tag was $5 when I purchased it. Now, the price has gone back up to about $15, but to be completely honest with you guys, I would have paid $40 for this game. It is fantastic. Now, basically the game has you controlling this little guy here, and in the beginning of the game, you are basically in this kingdom, and you are supposed to save this Majin. And he becomes basically this companion of yours, and in the beginning of the game, he definitely seems like this giant buffoon that you really couldn't care 2 pieces of crap about. But as the game progresses, he seriously becomes like this giant teddy bear that you just want to hug. He's just so comical. Some of the things he says, his grammar is absolutely terrible. It sounds like he never learned how to properly complete sentences because he just talks like almost like Yoda or something. He's like, "Me hungry, me want food. Ooh, you so nice. Me thankful now." And he sounds just like that too. It's hilarious. But it's a really, really cool game. Just to see how you're bonding with this Majin as the game progresses. And as I said in the beginning, you guys really couldn't care less about each other. But as the game progresses, it's just like he's your big brother. And you just constantly grow in a relationship with him. And just that bondage between characters and just seeing the character growth is just wonderful as the game progresses. Now, as the game begins, basically you save this Majin from the pits of absolutely nothing. He's basically chained to the wall, and you kind of release him, and then it's your goal to try and get into this kingdom that's sealed by these like 4 masks. And each mask is destroyed by defeating one of the 4 bosses. And as you kind of go through the game, the Majin has lost all of his powers. So basically you have to go around and find these fruits and feed him these fruits in order for him to regain his powers. And also as he regains his powers, he also regains his memories. And which is really, really cool about the game is that you actually get to relive some of these sequences. You don't actually get to play through these memories of his, but you kind of relive them through this like almost storybook retelling of the of his memories. And what's really cool about that is that if you guys played Limbo, the retelling of his memories kind of reminds me of that kind of atmosphere. It really reminds me of like a storybook, and it's kind of like this just like back panel of images and kind of his backstory. And basically, you know, the Majin was protecting this girl, and something went really bad. I'm not going to go into details because I don't want to, you know, spoil the story for those of you that may pick this game up. But basically, things went bad. You know, he got kind of overrun. He lost his powers. 100 years go by, and then he's chained up. And of course, you, the main protagonist of this game, find him and you save him. And now you guys are best buds. You guys are going through. You're trying to regain his powers as well as strengthen your own. And what's also really cool about the game is that as you progress, you open up these chests, and some of which just have orbs to kind of strengthen your stamina. But you also find different equipment upgrades. So you can get like, you know, different gauntlets to wear. You can get helmets, different armor. It's really, really cool how you can kind of upgrade your character and see him as he's first dressed like Tarzan, basically. Has like basically absolutely nothing. But then once you get these different armor upgrades, you actually get to see the change in your character once you equip them, which is really cool. It's not that you equip them and you don't see a difference like some RPGs. Once you equip them, you actually see that you're wearing a helmet now. It's really pretty cool. But I think one of the main draws of this game is just the relationship between characters, the Majin and then your main protagonist. It's just really cool to see how close you guys get as the game goes on. And really just some of the things that the Majin says are just incredibly comical. He kind of reminds me of Winnie the Pooh because his sentences are very brief, but they're also very charming, what he has to say. And just his voice is kind of like very soothing, very deep. And, you know, he can't speak correctly. Like I said, he's like, "Me hungry. Oh, I'm thankful now." And he just says things like that. And he periodically just randomly trips over himself. And he'll just say, "Oh, ouch, that hurt." It's hilarious. I mean, I just love how the developers did that and just make him just like this basically big buffoon, but he's also like your big brother, a big teddy bear that you just want to squeeze by the end of the game. So really cool. I haven't completed it yet, but I'm looking forward to playing through the rest of this. If you guys are fans of, you know, action-adventure games and games that have puzzles, very reminiscent of the Legend of Zelda series, seriously guys, look no further than Majin the Forsaken Kingdom. You can get it for $15 or less, brand new on Amazon. So you really, really cannot go wrong with this game. It is excellent and definitely deserves your attention. The next game we have here is a shoot 'em up by Cave, also highly recommended by my man Aerodynamish, and Splatter Trigger as well, and that is Dodonpachi Resurrection. Now this was only released in Japan and of course the UK, but it was region free from the PAL region, so I definitely had to import it. Got it for under $30, which is just a complete steal. And also, really good news, you guys, Rising Star Games is coming to the States, so hopefully we'll be seeing more of these excellent bullet hell shooters in the very, very near future. But Dodonpachi Resurrection is absolutely crazy how many bullets are on screen at one time. And the number of colors, oh my gosh, it could cause a seizure if you are not careful. But really, like this game, the music is excellent, and it is a, you know, vertical shooter through and through, so you guys know what to expect if you guys have played like games like Gradius and Raiden and things like that. But basically, this game requires you to find the loops and crannies that you can crawl through. It's basically a puzzle game because you have to try and dodge these bullets while just holding the trigger button. It's not a matter of like trying to destroy as many ships. It's literally a matter of dodging these bullets and, you know, finding a way through the different patterns and learning the patterns of the bullets so that you can actually survive the level. What's really cool though is that you can just press start and continue as many times as you want. Of course, your high score does take a significant hit. It goes back to 0 as you would expect, but it's really cool that you don't have to pop a quarter in a machine to continue. Because if you did, you'd be broke, to be honest, because it is near impossible to go through this game without continuing. At least it is for me. Maybe I'm just terrible at video games. I think we already went over that. But it is an excellent game, definitely well worth you guys importing. And of course, we'll be seeing a Kai Katana, hopefully within the next few months. I have my fingers crossed for that. But this game is definitely worth a look. And, you can import, for whatever reason. Definitely settle with maybe Raiden 4 or some of the greatest games that you can get, on the PlayStation 2, the Super Nintendo, even the NES, whatever have you. Just the shoot-'em-up genre is so much fun and is definitely like no other experience you probably have ever played. But Dodonpachi Resurrection is fantastic. Really enjoying my time with it. The final game we have here is another game that was sent to me by my dear friend Chesley. I still cannot thank him enough. And actually, before we get into that, I'll actually discuss some of the downloadable games that he downloaded on the machine that I've been playing. Two of which. One of which is the Simpsons arcade game. Now, you guys know, if you watch my Arcade Memories video, that I have some amazing memories playing that arcade machine at this laundromat next to my mom's work. My sister and I had to go to my mom's work almost every day after school just because my parents were divorced. It's a long story. I'm not going to go into that. But what's fantastic is that to, kind of relieve the stress of, family life and all that, my sister and I would just go in there with our allowance and we would just completely drain our pockets playing this game. And, I can't even remember if we ever completed it just because it was so long ago. But turning on the PlayStation 3 and playing that game and just seeing the title screen, with just, oh man, it just brought back so many memories, brought a smile to my face. I loved it. And you can play through as 4 playable characters, either Marge, Homer, Bart, or Lisa. And it is, a game by Konami. It's a beat-em-up, side-scrolling beat-em-up, similar to the Ninja Turtles or Final Fight or, Streets of Rage, that kind of thing. And the story is absolutely absurd. It seriously makes no sense. But, I didn't care back then. I don't care now. It's The Simpsons. It's a beat-em-up. You couldn't really ask for more. Really excellent enemies. Just really fun. The boss battles, even more so, make absolutely no sense. You fight against like a boxer, some crazy ninja guy, a big bowling ball. Just crazy stuff. But it is so fun. And I believe there's 6 stages. Maybe 7, I'm not sure. But I completed it twice last night. It was so fun. I had to play through it. So, yes, the Simpsons arcade game, guys. Gamester81 did a review. Fantastic stuff. I'll be posting a link to that at the bottom of the video so you guys can get a feel of what the game looks like. But really, really fun game. And then also Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. One of my favorite movies of all time. It is a video game lover's dream for a movie. And the game itself is fantastic. It is also a side-scrolling beat-em-up. I was blown away at how great this game is. It makes so many references to other video games. Like, in the very beginning, the overworld, when you move from stage to stage, is Super Mario World. It's so freaking awesome. Like, seriously, you cannot get any better than that. And also, as you're playing through the game, you'll see, like, those, like, little mystery boxes, like in Super Mario Brothers, like when you jump up and down and the coins, pop out until the block just turns brown or whatever. Yeah, those are in the game. It's so cool. But it is an excellent side-scrolling beat-em-up. Definitely, guys, do not overlook this game. I know I'm late to the party. I mean, the game's been out forever now, since the movie at least. But seriously, download that game immediately. It is so much fun. Definitely deserves your guys' attention. So now I'm going to get into the final game here that I've been playing, thanks again to my friend Chesley. And that is Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. Now you guys might be asking, Rusty, you haven't played Uncharted 1 and 2. No, I haven't, so I have no idea what the heck is going on. But is it cool? Heck yes it is. Okay? So I start this game out and I played through the first 3 chapters last night. Blown away about how much fun this is. It is seriously just so fast-paced. There's not a second where you are bored or wondering, okay, when's the game going to progress? When's something good going to happen? Because it's constantly good. There are so many things that are happening in this game completely over the top. I don't really know what's happening in the story, but I don't really care because I'm having fun, and that's the bottom line. That's really all I care about. And really enjoying it. I don't think I'm going to be spoiling anything here, but in the beginning of the game, you go back 20 years, and you get to kind of see Nathan Drake's past, where he kind of started, why he's like this Indiana Jones-esque dude, you know, as he's, I don't know how many years old now. And there's this point in the game where you're just like running from rooftop to rooftop, jumping from building to building, and hanging on ledges and getting shot at. The kid's like 10 years old. I mean, that's awesome. So, yeah, Calvin. Calvin even thinks it's awesome. Don't you, Calvin? Calvin. Yeah. So it was so awesome. And really just enjoying this game. Seeing how the story is kind of progressing and figuring out, I guess, Nathan Drake's past. It was kind of cool because I had no idea what the game was about really, or the series. But to see Nathan Drake's past kind of gave me an idea of, you know, what the game has to offer, what the story is kind of about, what's going on. But really interesting game so far. I'm really, really excited to see how this game progresses. And then, of course, when I beat this, I'm going to go back and play Drake's Fortune, and then, of course, Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, which I hear is the superior game in the franchise. So, we'll see, but Naughty Dog does a fantastic job with this game. I'm loving it so far, and really, no complaints. So I've been playing a lot of games. As you can see, we have Star Fox 64 3D, E7, Uncharted 3, Dodonpachi Resurrection, Majin, The Forsaken Kingdom, and Final Fantasy XIII. Really excellent stuff, you guys. As always, drop me a comment below. Let me know what you've been playing. I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and stay tuned for more. I have my Final Fantasy XIII review / final impressions video coming soon, as well as a few other things that I don't even know about yet. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you soon for more videos.